Hello, Internet! My name is Prunk, and today's video is a little different. We are going to be exploring the wonderful world of Jank. And if you're a millennial like me, then you're probably still using Facebook, which, sorry. And I posted basically on the Disney Lorcana, like official, like the big Facebook page, post your favorite card and I will build a deck for you around that card. And we're going to focus on the strengths and trying to cover as many weaknesses as we can. And it's the end of set 8, so I really just want to build some fun decks at this point. The tournaments are over, I didn't do as well as I would have hoped, and so now I'm just looking for some fun jank to mess around until Fabled comes out. So, not only am I going to build some fun decks for some fun janky decks for us all, I'm going to teach you how to build these decks. I don't feel like there's many good ways to learn how to play or how to build your own deck that you want. So I'm going to go over my thought process and hopefully help you learn how to build your own deck. All right, so the first card requested by a Nicole Capo, and there was one other person who posted as well, and Kendra Stancy Stelling. They have asked me, I want to build a deck around Flynn Rider, a breaking and entering. His effect, whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player may choose and discard a card. If you don't, you gain 2 lore. So this card right here screams to me, I want to play something along the lines of making them challenge. My thought process instantly is look for similar effects, or how do I optimize this effect as best as I can? So we're going to find cards that are in green, obviously, that will say, okay, I get this benefit if he challenges this character. How do I ensure that my opponent starts to challenge characters? Well, Reckless is a effect. So let's just search for Reckless over here on dreamborn.inc. This is the best site you can make to build decks. I don't think there's a even close competitive. We want to look for things that contain Reckless. Yeah, it contains Reckless. Okay, so hey, Lewis, he is green in color. This card says this character enters plays exerted. When you play this character, chosen opposing character gains reckless. They may attack the Flynn, but it is still giving characters reckless, so let's do that. Lyle, okay, let's see. When you play this character, chosen opponent character gain reckless, and they also lose a lore whenever one of our characters is banished. Probably pretty good. Let's throw a couple of him in. He's uninkable, so I don't think I need 4. Let's just bump to 3 because I probably want to see him. Tropical Rainforest, opposing damage characters gain Reckless. If we focus more on damage, we'll come back to that one. Jacques, when you play this chosen opposing character, gains Reckless. That's not too bad. We'll throw a few in there just to make sure. Ka, okay, hold on. Whenever this character quests, opposing character gets -2 and gains Reckless until the start of your next turn. That's pretty big. Okay, that means I can weaken them also. And on top of that, make them challenge. That is a yellow, so that would force me into the yellow-green archetype, which isn't too bad. But looking at some of these other stuff, nobody else is giving characters Reckless. One of your characters with Reckless, if I went red, ready all your characters, they gain Reckless. That's not quite what I want. So I think yellow is probably going to be the best fit. So let's throw in Ka. So now we can narrow down our searching to yellow-green cards. There's not too many yellow ones, but this is a good amount. We have 19 characters that are all giving Reckless at the moment. We don't want to purely focus on that. Now we kind of want to look and see, okay, we have all these characters that give Reckless. What's the next step of what I should be kind of shooting for? I don't want to just only have Flynn Rider getting on them getting Reckless and then challenging this guy. No, we want to find cards that are similar effects. So whenever this character is challenged is kind of what I want to look for. Whenever this character is how do you spell? I'm going to put chal. There you go. So I don't know how to spell it. En. Okay, why did I think A? I was going to be dumb online. Okay, so we have all these cards that have effects that whenever they are challenged. Cool. And we are going to need a curve as well, so we want Merfolks. Merfolk just, yeah, challenge that character. Why not? Heck yeah. Flynn, of course, we want another Flynn. That's not bad. Chooses and discards a card. So we have a couple cards that are making them discard. Okay. Let's put Anastasia in here a few times. Yeah, we'll do that. And this might be a little too high cost. Whenever this character is pirate, like that. Okay. I think this is pretty good. We have a pretty good amount of cards that are in like synergistic with each other. Now we need to look at some sporting cards though. So what I like to do is I like to come over here, and there's two things that I want to like. One, we're going to want to try and figure out what staples we want to throw in, because no matter what deck you're playing, there is just always core staples that you want to do. You always want to make sure that your deck has good outs for the problematic cards in the format. Diablo is still a problematic card. We're going to need something that's going to be able to deal with him. We're going to have to deal with evasive, like stuff that is going to deal with evasive characters like Genie and Peter Pan. We just want things that are going to have to force challenges. Some illusion bait maybe. So how do we deal with Steel Song and Rhino? Like that's going to be all problems that we're going to have to try and solve. So let's go into sort this by costs, because we also want to make sure that we're having a pretty strong curve. Okay, so on turn 1, we have Rhino is nice, but we can do Lady possibly whenever this character. Nah, this doesn't quite fit our theme. We are giving a lot of characters challenge. Nala might not be a bad option because this could be. Oh, first things first, actually. Best cards that we are pretty much auto include in yellow. We got Amber. We got Rapunzel for sure. And I think that's really the main staple that you're gonna want in a yellow deck is Rapunzel, which then does synergize with this Nala. She's not a for sure yet. I'm not convinced, but I kind of like the idea of having her around as just a big body that they can't quite get rid of. Might kind of steer slightly towards like Chernadog package if we need to. So let's throw some Nalas in there. Fred is an alternative option if we just really want to go fast. In fact, if we want to go aggro, this would be arguably better. Let's just throw him in for now. We're hanging at 43 cards. This is not the final build. Right now, we're just trying to see, hey, of these cards, which ones would fit really well. Looking at this, I don't have much draw package right now either. So the Diablo engine is probably well worth it, but that means I'm going to have to put in actions as well. Let's throw in 2 Hidden Coves. I like Hidden Cove a lot as a 1 or 2 of. If I have it, awesome. If I don't, then that's rough. Let's see. This is turning into a much more aggro package. If we're sticking with that, and Flynn. Okay. Lilo's don't quite fit the energy, but if we are going aggro and running low on draw power, she might be an option. Let's just throw her in for now. We can always take cards out. Right now, we're just looking for cards that would synergize really well. If we're going more aggro, then we go Piglet. Bare Necessities, if I do want to go into a more control or mid-rangey build. Probably just 2. And if I am going to end up putting Diablos in, we're going to need a couple more. Chosen Point can get Quest on the turn, Heffalumps and Losels. It is a draw, and it is a force you to not. It stops you from having to quest, so we can't just out-aggro each other. Go-Go is a great aggro card if they are making bad trades. Even if you just get this card for like 3 lore, it pays for it. You're going to be top decking a lot of times, so that's a really good card to throw in. Morph, let's look at some floodboard options, but Ursula is kind of a staple as well. Maybe not so much if we're going into an aggro list because we don't care if they have songs, but something to consider. Let's look at Morph as well. And you know what? Because we have Morph, let's look at Floodborns. Right off the bat, nobody's super sticking out at me except if we do the Diablo, which we want to throw in. Flynn Rider, we have a lot of discard, but not enough discard, in my opinion, so I don't necessarily know if that's worth it. If we went to a more discard-focused package instead of an aggro list, this is definitely turning up to be more aggro right now, so I'm not convinced on Flynn right now. I don't think he's necessary. Pegasus, it is giving your characters evasive, which is kind of nice. We could go with more. If we go with Morph, we could do Belt Archer, which whenever this character is challenged, the challenging character's players discard all their hands. So empty their hand right off the bat, have to quest for 3. Possible. Tramp, during your opponent's turn, whenever one of your characters disguise, just sits back and helps you get some draw. Like, that might be good, especially if we keep Morph. Clarabelle, super strong, but this is definitely taking us away from the aggro list. So from here, we have a pretty good idea of some of the best cards that would fit this list. Let's just look at 3s just to see if there's anything that I really, really want. If you have 3 or more other characters in play, draw a card. If you turn that sideways, not really worth it. Lady, if we're going aggro, so Perla, evasive. No, this is definitely more of a mid-range. Okay, so from here we have a couple options on should we start. Do we want to pivot more into an aggro list, or do I want to pivot into more of a mid-range slash control list? So this is completely you as a player. Like you are going to know what you'd rather do. I think for if we are trying to really focus in on this Flynn, we should probably stick more to an aggro list. I still think this tramp can be viable as a backup strategy. As like, oh crap, we need the draw power. But let's start to thin out. We have 90 cards to play around with, and so we got to start cutting some of the stuff. So if we're going aggro, we actually don't need the Diablos. We don't need the Nalas as much. Like she's can be helpful, but not as much. So right off the bat, these guys are basically getting us 2 to 3 lore, Fred and Curse Merfolk. Hidden Cove, this one is a maybe at the moment. It is slowing us down by playing this card, but it is protecting a lot of some of our characters later on. So I'm gonna keep it in for now. Lilo, I don't necessarily think we need 3, so let's just bump her down to 2. Bare Necessities, we cut the Diablo, so we don't actually need that. Go Tamago, he's just a good like endgame character after they've traded into a bunch of your stuff and you can't deal with it. Like that's just a way to cheat the win. Heavylumps and Woozles, it's not. I again we cut the Diablo, so I don't think we need that. Ursula, maybe bump her down to like 2. She's possibly I cut. Like I kind of want to see her in my opening hand, and that's about it. Lady, this is, I mean, we're playing a lot of low cost characters, so whenever you play this character, you play 2 costs for free. Yeah, pretty good. Anastasia, whenever you play this character, she is only a 3/1. She dies to pretty much all removal. I don't think she's worth it. Yeah, she chooses and discards a card. Not quite there. We don't need Diablo anymore, but you know, we still have a decent amount of discard. John does have evasive or I'm sorry, has ward. If we go to Prince John again, I'm going to throw him in as a consideration because the ward and questing for 2 is pretty strong, and we do have some synergy with the discarding. We're not playing too much of a discard package, but him questing for 2 with ward is something that we can consider. And then also we have Philip, I think, that has ward. Yeah, so we can do Prince Philip, who also quests for 2 in ward. So it's something to really consider. Jacques, when you play this character, chosen opposing character has Reckless, does quest for 2. So it does fit our aggro package. Lyle is starting to be a little bit not necessary. If we keep him around, we circle around mid-range a little bit more. It's still not horrible if we fit him in. We'll hold him for now. Prince John, yeah, maybe we don't go for the Prince John. I think Prince Philip is actually a little bit better here, so we'll go with this. Ka, I still think is pretty good. He's a nice endgame character. We have a couple good finishers right here. If we cut the morph, and then we cut all of this, and that does thin us out quite a bit. So what if we cut morph down? We don't quite need it. Get rid of the bell archer. Maybe keep a couple tramps. That does mean we have to go here. We don't have too many floodborns now, so we could just cut the tramp. Hidden Cove, Curse Merfolk, Piglet is great. We have a decent aggro line. At this point, if you hard play this character, you're probably not getting too much out of him, because a lot of your characters are probably dead by this point. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe we just keep the curve at under 4. And what if we did instead of that? So we need some kind of draw power though. So let's look at actions because there is not a song but an action. We are, you know, and we can cut I think we can cut the Hidden Cove. If we're going aggro, like this is, I think, aggro reckless kind of thing, I think this is fine. I have 2 thoughts in mind. Be Our Guest, which is look at the top 4 cards, reveal a character card. That's only 1. Invited to the ball is possible. Our uninkable count is at 15, not quite what I would want. I mean, it's an aggro list, and we're not going over 4 ink, so it's not the end of the world. Also, we could do remember who you are. If your chosen character has more cards in their hand, they're probably going to have more cards than you 99% of the time. So we could do something like this, just so that we can help fill up our hand. And then that does keep our uninkable count a little higher, which, why don't we cut the Lyle? No, I like the Lyle a lot here. Lyle just skews us more to mid-range. So I think that the real decision, I think we have decided we need to go aggro with this list. If you wanted to play a more mid-range focus, I think you would end up cutting maybe like the Pooh Pirates or the Lilos, play the Morphs, and play the Tramps and Clarabelles. So you can kind of make the distinction of would I rather go that route or would I rather just turn everything sideways and have fun. Um, I'm not a big aggro player normally, so I keep wanting to keep Lyle in. I don't think Lyle is correct for the aggro list. We have plenty of characters that are giving reckless. We have Jacques, and we're giving them Ka. So we have plenty of characters who are actively turning cards sideways. And you know what? Maybe now, because of that, I could go into Morph and like Clarabelle and or Tramp. So let's do. You know what? I want some kind of backup plan. And Tramp. Clarabelle. We'll do something like that. And from here, you can kind of test to see which one you like. You can, if you don't like the Clarabelle, you can put 4 into Tramp. If you don't like Tramp, you can put 4 into Clarabelle. But having the morph there might actually be a little bit better. And yeah, okay. So we have a pretty strong list. 15 uninkables that you usually don't want to go much higher than that. In a pure aggro list, you could go a little bit higher. And I like this list. So far, so good. From here, let's kind of test it out a little bit. All right, let's test out and see what we do. We do have a DKP list. It's my version, though, where I have some weird tech options. No one drops in our opening hand. We're just going to mulligan all of that away. We would need to see a 1 or 2 at least. And all we're really doing, like, of course, the AI is not going to always make optimal decisions, but we definitely want to do our best. How do we still not get a 1 drop? How many 1 drops do we do? Oh, we only did 8. Oh, okay. Let's ink the Jacques and unfortunately pass. Not quite what I want to do. And oh, there's our 1 drop. You came in a little late, homie. Let's do our Piglet. And next turn we'll be able to Lady into Fred, or if we get a better one, which would be nice too. And we are going to be kind of lucky. We're going to just get to see him ramp a little bit, which can be a little scary. We'll ward that fill up. We'll play the Lady, play a Fred, Piglet quest for 3, and from here it's most likely a Goofy, which, okay, never mind. So it's just going to focus on the ramp. We'll have to worry about Maui next turn. Into a Tipo. Okay, and we will have to possibly worry about B-Prep next turn instead. We'll ink this Lady. We don't quite need it. So next turn is kind of B-Prep or bust for him. I still think we just drop big character. Let's do... I don't necessarily want to do this, so let's put this down. Yeah, it's going to have to be a B-Prep right here. No, okay. So either being greedy or doesn't have it. Could be a Sisu next turn, so it's something we definitely need to watch out for. He could throw both T-posts into the Prince Philip next turn. We'll just drop that and pass. And it's either B-Prep or bust or Sisu or bust. But even a... Yeah, he's got to have the B-Prep here. No, a Hades. Okay. Didn't have it. Okay. So, yeah, deck did its thing. Quest. And... Oh, just could have done with Piglet. So what do you have? Maui. Okay. Yeah, I mean... This was 3, 4, 5. So I was at 17. So, yeah, I mean, like... This would have been enough. He could have Maui'd into something and then T-Po'd into the fill-up, and then I still would have been able to quest for 3 with the Lady and the Fred. So yeah, not too bad. Let's run it back one more time. And again, we're just testing to see how does this do. We have, yeah, something like this would be fine. We can get into Morph. If we see a Tramp, that might be nice. We'll ink the Prince Philip, play the Fred. And all we're doing, just trying to see, does this feel all right? Do we feel like we have a solid curve? Do our lines kind of mesh up a little bit how we want it to? I didn't see a Floodborn, so we're gonna ink the Morph. We'll play the Lilo. I probably should have kept it because I have Lady next turn. That was a mistake. Hopefully I draw one or a two. I have a pretty decent collection of twos, so there's a high chance of me drawing a two. I did draw two, even better. Okay, so unfortunately inking the Rapunzel, playing the Lady, getting the Lilo, and we are just trying to go fast. Like, this is an aggro list. All we gotta do is hope they don't have a B prep and turn everything sideways. So he's gonna keep ramping. Next turn is B prep territory. I can ink twice. And so we are just going to continue. So I might actually ink this. I'm not going to commit anything to the board. Let's just try and draw two cards. And we'll quest this all. Whenever this character is challenged, yeah. And even if he B-preps, I got two Lilos there. It's not the end of the world. He's going to brawl. Okay, that's twice that we got to dodge it. That's pretty nice. He's going to be looking for it. All right. Now he has a little bit more of a board, so I don't mind committing a few more characters. So why don't we go boom, boom, because we can always zombie Lilo if he B-preps. So next turn is Sisu is our worst nightmare now. It's because if he does Sisu, he has characters that can challenge the Lilos on summon. And then we just have the Prince Philip. Yeah, that was worst case scenario. That's totally understandable. We'll bring back one and then not the other because we want to play this. And we'll pass. So he has to run the Grammatala into the Lilo. I have Prince Philip. I will hopefully be able to drop two characters next turn. Ooh, this is dangerous. Okay. Dang. Okay. So why don't we do this? And then I honestly, no, I don't have to hold. So what's the best course here? I can hold the Philip and then force him to kind of be prep. If not, nah, as long as he, I'll be fine. Because this is, I'm going to be able to double summon the Lilos anyway. So again, it has to be another Sisu or a B prep. And he has to trade into, so he's trading into him, so he doesn't have it. And what we got? A Tamato. Okay, so we got this. Cool. Woo, heal. Heal. Sure. Ah, that's annoying. All right, so quest that out. He had a pirate's life that he could have sang and stolen, but I think that still wouldn't bother. If he would have actually made trades, he probably could have bought it for another turn. So yeah. So the deck seems to work. We built up an aggro list. We have a pretty good little thing. I'll put this a link into the doobly-doo in the description if you want to try and test out the our reckless build for aggro. All right, so the next card on the list is Lady Cluck. This one was asked for by Danny Blanco and has a little bit of a backstory. My son is 6 and has been playing Amethyst Steel locations with John Silver that appears to be dead moving forward. He thinks the idea of a giant chicken bodyguard is hilarious, so here we are. And let's give Danny's son something fun to play around with. Let's look at this character. She has ward, she has bodyguard, so he does want us to try and keep rotation in mind. We don't know everything coming out yet, but we'll do our best and think of it. So she is an ally, and so we also have a support card with her, which says during an opponent's turn, whenever one of your ally characters is damaged, deal 1 damage to opposing character. So we got a little bit of removal in the kit. That's nice. And your character's named Lady Cluck, gain resist 1. Interesting. Okay. So this is a little bit nicer because we have actual support built in, and most people request random cards that has no support. So we got to play 4 of Lady Cluck. Maid Marian, that is totally, we're probably going to play a 4 of her. So we probably need to go around with the blue steel bot allies. So let's look at all the allies. We want to look for cards that contain allies. And we're kind of looking through and saying, okay, well, all these cards are allies. What are support cards that have allies? I know Bernard is. It's not the best draw. It replaces himself as a 2/2 body, which is okay, but he's uninkable. Not quite what I want to see. Tipo, if I want to ramp and focus on some of the big cards, what big allies do we got? Big allies. Tinkerbell, but I don't really need to ramp too hard for a 6 drop. But she's definitely probably the best ally we have here. Miss Bianca, yep, we're going to be playing a lot of allies, so her coming out for 4, really nice. Which means that we can probably play a couple of good 5-cost songs like Wheel, so that way we know. And if we're playing Wheel, we could go with, where is he? Hey, who dumps our alt hand. That wouldn't be too bad. Let's see. Aladdin the bodyguard, he does heal other allies. Probably just a few of them. He's not crazy good, but it's not something we can scoff at. And these are things that contain allies, not characteristics. So there's Jasmine and Aladdin, right? Yeah, okay. So there's this Jasmine. Whenever this character quests, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You reveal an ally card and put it into your hand. Put the rest to the bottom of your deck. Okay, so we need 3 allies. Yeah, so we're going to be stacking allies in this one. So, which is totally fine, because honestly, like, they're all all the allies are pretty solid. Smee, yeah, best 2-drop in the game. So we're going to throw Smee in there. I don't want to do another aggro list. Mr. Arrow wouldn't be too bad. We're going to focus more on the bodyguard, I think, in the healing and protecting them. So we have Jasmine shift. She shifts on 2, so we got to play the 1-drop. So let's go back to Jasmine. What do we have? When you play this character, remove up to 1 damage from chosen character of yours. When you play this character, give another chosen character. Like, this isn't a best 1-drop, but I like this way better than the healing. Like, they're both not... They're just vanilla 1/2s at this point, on turn 1. Oh, yeah, there she is. There's the other one. So, whenever this character quests, if you have no cards in hand, draw a card for each ally character you have in play. That's kind of insane. We're going to try and do this. So we want to dump our hand. So we do want to look for more lower cost allies a little bit more. So now I'm thinking maybe we go like Dock and stuff too. We can contain ally. Dump truck is a decent little removal tool. Puts the damage on Rhino early on. Let's see. Dumping our hand. So we just draw more. Maybe now we do put in Tipo. Replace me. Where's Doc at? Yep, Doc. Yeah. We're running low on cards. We're putting in lower cost characters. Maybe that's the best way to do it. And some of these other ones aren't really standing out to me too much, unless we go Hey with a chicken. So hold on, what's the shift Hey? Just dumping our hand, and then we just top decking everything from here. Yeah, shift 3. Whenever this character, you play this character, put all cards in your hand in ink. Well, let's just do it. We'll do it for the memes. And we'll do that. And we need to play the other chicken. Where are you at? Hey. I'm just gonna Hey. All right, so we can play the vanilla. Dog is yelling at me. Whenever you play this character, chosen opposing character can't get ready at the start of its turn. During this character gains evasive. It is a Diablo killer if we need it, and it does shift on turn 3, so we can play that card, and if they don't remove it, then we can surprise them with Big Chicken Hey. So I kind of like that. Okay. Where are we at? We're at 57. Oh, wow. Okay, so we need to look at some of our songs, because we're going to need some removal. Let the Storm Rage on. So we do have Jasmine to shift on 4, or on 2, which can sing 4. So we probably want to do Zeus because it also does help remove some of the problematic cards for genies and everything else. It's a little early, but like it does kill Rhino. So shift 2, Zeus the Rhino. That's pretty good. And then from there you can start to kind of gain a little bit of control. There's an Aladdin too that is arguably better. Let's just look at our removal. We got our whole new worlds. We're going to be emptying our hand quite a bit. Down in New Orleans, not convinced here that it would be good. Don't think we want to go ramping tools. Maybe do right C. No. What's the Aladdin options? Not franchise. Aladdin. Stop containing Aladdin. Aladdin. Dude, just give me... Am I misspelling his name? Does he not exist? Oh, it's a song. That's why I'm searching under song. Alad. I know. Oh, it's Steel. There we go. Whenever this character quests, play an ally character with cost of 3 or less. Okay, okay. And that's definitely something we can build. How we gotta get some rid of those uninkables. Holy crap. All right, so Dump Truck I think is going away. We have other ways to deal with it. Bernard is unlikely to hit the curve as well. Let the Storm Rage on. This isn't. We're not playing as many low-cost allies as I kind of would like here. We maybe not a full like thing of Aladdin or this Jasmine too. Maybe we don't focus on dumping our hand completely. Or maybe we just don't need the low-cost guys then, because if we're doing if we're dumping our hand in with the hey hey, we don't have too many of these, so why don't we cut this? And it brings us down to 62. We are still pretty high on uninkable, but we are playing Tipo, so like that's not super worrisome. Who's our allies? I want to see our high-cost allies again. Smee, we're definitely playing. Lawrence is super good. It's hard to pass him up too. Pluto is a pretty strong 4-drop. Ooh, Cogsworth. Okay, hold on. We might want to do. Let's look at something a little bit. Okay, so we're looking at the higher end right here. I'm just not convinced. I wish this guy had. If this guy had a shift line, it'd be a lot better. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think that Aladdin's necessary. Bianca's great. Tinkerbell's great for removal. Lady Cluck getting resist. Cogsworth giving everybody else resist as well. Hey Hey to dump your hand, so that way you can basically play whatever you need to at the top. For doing that, we're at 68. What's cuttable here? Zeus, I feel like we probably want to keep at 4. The whole new worlds we definitely need. We're dumping our hands. I don't actually know what I want to cut here. Hold on. I think the best thing we have to cut. I think we do just cut Tipo then, because we got Hey Hey. We don't need it. We don't need to ramp that hard. And then I don't want to cut Lawrence. Maid Marian is probably the one we actually want to. Whenever one of your ally characters is damn, we have so many allies though, and that is just clean removal that we can ink. Maybe not 4 of her. Draw a card for each ally in play. Maybe we do drop this down because that does help with our uninkables. Maybe we drop down a Tink to 1, or 3, Tink and Bianca down, and we can kind of play with those numbers. But this does leave us with a clean 60. All right, for this one, I'm going to be taking on a aggro list for Yellow Steel because that was the one I was thinking about, which one I felt like would probably be one of the more problematic cards. And we have Hey Hey. I kind of want to see early Hey Hey. I really want to test that. And then hopefully draw into like the Maid Marians and stuff. We need a 1-drop. I don't necessarily need the 1-drop, but we want the 1-drop. Okay, we got the 1, but we don't get the shift line. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We don't need the Cogsworth right away. We'll play the Jasmine. Jasmine doesn't do anything. Pass. And okay, into a Cindy. A little scary. Let's ink and play the Smee, because if he does play a Storm or something, then that it does allow us to run into the Cinderella. I should have quested. I don't know why I didn't, but yeah, cleans that. It's completely understandable. Ink the Tinkerbell. We're going to play another Smee. We're going to take out this Cinderella. Takes damage. Calhoun runs into it. Gets 2 lore, but I take out the Calhoun. I'm okay with that. And what do you play on 3 here? A lady into their own Smee. Fun. Okay. Could be worse here. Okay. We can ink. Save that Jasmine. Might actually be better to do next turn, depending on what we draw. And we'll just quest for the Smee. If he wants to run Smee and Smee, that is completely fine with me. Whenever one of your ally characters... Oh, it doesn't... During your opponent's turn. Ah, okay. So we can do 1 damage. Probably... Is it during an opponent's turn whenever one of your ally characters is damaged? So I can't just ping into stuff. We'll do a Smee. Gotta worry about the Rapunzel if I don't kill it though next turn. Ooh, okay, okay. Yeah, Rapunzel. Oh, and we got Bianca. Okay. Rapunzel next turn would be very bad. Um, Rapunzel next turn would be crazy, crazy bad. I almost have to commit into it. Yeah, unfortunately, Miss Lady Cluck, I think you need to be inked. We'll play the Jasmine into resist into. Wait, I don't have a. Oh no! Oh, that was bad. I could have. I thought I was gonna be able to play both. That's fine. Oh, and now he can. Ah, that was the bad play. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, I think that was more of a misplay than a bad list. So let's try this again. And get rid of all those. I do have the hey hey line. Let's do that. I'm gonna test that. Let's see. Ink a hey hey and pass. So all that's gonna go to the inkwell, and then we're gonna basically pray to see if we can draw into a wheel or a dock or something to like start that engine. All right, you ready for this? Ah, we drew a dock. That's annoying. Behold, a giant chicken. All right, finish quest. So, all right, so hopefully we draw a dock. You can probably fit a. We had so many uninkables, but there are probably some other like draw cards that we're gonna want. Like there's like the 3-cost song that does things now. This is a card that, yeah, look at the top 3 and get allies. So this is draw technically. Just dump your hand with hey hey, and hopefully we can refill it. We only get to take one of the allies, which is a little sad. We'll run hey hey into one of those. It does have resist. Lady Cluck. Alright, let's quest with this first. See what we draw. Wow. Okay. So hey hey. And we'll play this as a bodyguard. You as a chicken. This hey hey to the Smee. There we go. A pretty decent spot. Now I think we're mostly going to be focused on trying to get some board control. We hit. Okay, I'm fine with I'm fine with that chicken if you hit that instead. We can play this Jasmine, but we quest first. Ooh. I mean, yeah. Just Rune aggro's day here. And then we can go and play this on Lady Cluck, who has the bodyguard. We'll take this out. And then we'll have you take out the lady. And at this point, we have complete field control until he plays a Rhino. Dock, though. Sweet. Draw 2. Play the Lawrence. We might as well play the Hey Hey. You don't have to worry about anything really big. I should have probably quested with the Jasmine first again, but it shouldn't matter too much here. Yeah, let's grab another Cogsworth to not have to worry about the songs. And I think at this point it is GG. So that is how I build Lady Cluck. So there you go. Hopefully this deck list and shows it off. It's pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with it. I honestly, yeah, this is fun. I'm probably going to tinker with this one a little bit more because I kind of like this a lot. So this might be a fun deck for me to kind of experiment with too. All right, so the last one we have is Robin Hood Sharpshooter with a weird request of just in time as well. So we are making red, yellow actions. So Robin Hood Sharpshooter does play cards from the discard. You look at the top 5 actions, and Just in Time is one of the actions that lets you play a character with 5 cost or less for free. I have no idea if you meant to play these together, but we're gonna do it. So let's put in just in time. Now, even though somebody requested, hey, I want to utilize this card, doesn't mean you need to play 4 copies. Like we're just trying to figure out the best uses of these cards. Robin Hood. So we are going to make a wacky red yellow sharpshooter deck. Okay. So whenever this character requests, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal an action card with 6 or less cost and play it for free. I like free. Okay, so we're gonna look at actions. So first thing we want to look at is what are some of the best 6 cost actions. Well, right off the bat, Pirate's Life are auto includes. We'll need some removal with some Dragonfire. I like Revive would actually be really good. So play a character with 5 cost or less for free. This kind of pairs with the just in time. So if it dies, we have like a little bit of a Monster Reborn. And let's see, Beaking Undisputed, maybe one of. You Have Forgotten Me. Let's discard their hand. That sounds great. Brawl, let's get a couple of those because it's really good. I'm not convinced on Teeth and Ambitions. It's going to depend on what we have. Let's throw 2 Bare Necessities in. It's something I can cut if I wanted to, but it's still a good card to like kind of just consider. So maybe we do. Let's throw Teeth in. Let's see what happens. Yellow is often damage heavy, and then I can play Rapunzel's too. So right off the bat, Rapunzel is the best card in the game, so we're going to put 4 copies of her into our list. Shark is the best red character in the game. And we are playing an action deck, so it makes sense that it would have Shark. Unfortunately, he can't be reborn or played with just in time, so that is slightly disappointing. So what are some of the best 5 drops here? Now, normally people with red yellow would think of Mufasa, but we have so many actions, Mufasa is probably not going to trigger. So we got to really consider Lilo. We are playing an action deck. During your turn, if you've played 3 or more actions this turn, you may play this character for free. So focusing maybe on some lower cost actions might be kind of neat. Or even if I'm just spamming out Robin Hoods, this can be free. And he also does ready another character, so that way it does protect Robin Hood. Let's throw a couple of her. I think she's pretty good. And then who else do I want to run? Maui, probably, because he's just, again, one of the best 5-drop characters in the game, so that makes sense to me. I am not convinced on anybody else. I think like for our 5s, Lilo and Maui's are probably our best options. Bump her to 4. I think that would be fine. And if we are playing some lower cost actions, we might actually be able to get the Lilo for free. But if not, just being able to ready another character like Maui or something would probably be pretty good. Just to protect him. Let's go to, okay. Let's look at our lower, what would be our perfect line tempo play? If we are playing Teeth and Ambitions, then Nala does actually become a lot better. I don't want to go Daisy because I don't want to give them resources, and also this is definitely not an aggro list, so I don't think Daisy's worth it, but Nala might be. Pluto is an alternative, but if I do him, it doesn't trigger with Teeth and Ambitions, and my uninkable is already pretty high, so I don't think he's right. Mulan might be a good way to trigger. Then I could possibly shift onto and have like the better shift line, and also does heal with Rapunzel. So maybe. I think those would probably be my best 1-2s. Maybe I splash in a low cost action. Thievery, no. I like Break Free. Deal 1 damage to chosen character of yours. They gain Rush. Maybe like 1 or 2 of, just because I can grab it back with Shark pretty easily. So we'll do that. It's really good to combo with Shark. So okay, let's start with those guys. Looking at our 2 line, we have songs. I don't think we go Flynn because our next 3 slot is probably like just going to be our actions to spam out something else. Oop, where'd it go? So Flynn Sisu combo I don't think works. Prince John is uninkable. I would like to see him, but at the same time I don't think I can do it, especially if I'm not doing the Flynns. So Flynn is great, but Steel Song is so common right now. This thing is going to die to a storm. So not really worth playing the Flynn. I think Gothel is really the only 2-drop I'd want. We have a couple of these other songs here in this list, but I just setting her up for the Rapunzel trigger. Because even on turn 3, you can just in time into Rapunzel and heal 3 off of the Mother Gothel, so it doesn't have to stay alive for 2 turns. And that is always a fun combo. So Brawl, just in time. I don't think we need a 3 characters. I think we really do want to focus on the just in time to be able to cheat out some of these other characters. So Bee King Undisputed. Let's get 2 maybe, because our Uninkables, we're at 61, and wow, we already kind of filled up this list to like something pretty solid, I think. So 3 just in time into Rapunzel. So ideal curve, play Nala or Mulan, whatever you need to do for a character. Turn 2, we go Mother Gothel. Turn 3, just in time into a Rapunzel, so that way we can set up our line. So we have our first 3 turns really well plotted out on that curve, and we have some deviants if we need to. So Teeth Ambition to pop like our Mulan or Nala to 2 damage to them if we need to. Um, or we just spam into Robin Hood to see it a turn sooner. Hope they don't have like a Brawl or something or a Zeus to like come out on. And yeah, I think that's good. Revive to bring back either Lilo, Maui Shark, to kind of bring us all in. I like that actually a lot. I don't really know what I want to change here. This is already looking like a really nice list. If I'm gonna cut something, where are we at for action or types? 17. We have 29 actions slash stuff. So how am I doing for? I'm under my uninkables. Like I don't like to go higher than 15, but the revive I think is going to be actually really good. Oh, I wanted to put Mulan's in too, didn't I? Mulan. Does Mulan actually fit now? No, because she can't be brought back with revive or Mulan or anything. Is there a better 1-drop than Mulan right now? So something better that I can do with Mulan than Mulan. Um, maybe I just play Minnie Mouse instead of Mulan, or have a 1/3 body. Still doesn't die to Storm, so that's good. Uh, maybe cut this for the mini and play like 3 of. I think that's probably better, because then I can still teeth. I have 2 targets to teeth and ambitions on turn 2 if I need to. Yeah, I think that's actually better. But looking at this list, I mean, we're under the uninkable count off the bat. We're at 60 cards that I feel like we need. Like, I don't know what else I'd really want to spam in. Let me just do a quick look, but uh, no, we don't want 6s. We only want 5s. We don't need to go too high on inkables too. I mean, this is okay. This one was surprisingly easy. So yeah, let's test this one out. Let's see how it goes. All right, let's test against a discard deck. I think that might be fine. Just to see some diversity too with it. Okay, we got a 1, 2, we got a 3. So we got 1, 2, 3. We'll put those back. And okay, we have our own You Have Forgotten Me. Okay, ink. And we actually have the Rapunzel just in timeline part. Okay, that's actually insane. Let's see exactly how it pays off. Okay, well, it gets rid of teeth. Thankfully, act just in time is not an action. And don't need to deal with that. Mother Gothel. This quest for 1, that's not a big deal. So, assuming nothing bad happens here, you're gonna hard play a spell? Or are you gonna hard play a song? Okay, good. That would have sucked. Alright, so let's ink. Let's play just in time for the Rapunzel, for the heal. Draw 3 cards. Hell yeah. And kill that thing. And quest. Cool. Yeah, that turned out really well. That was awesome line. Awesome line. Does make it discard. If we're discarding actions, maybe a character because we have revive. They're all pretty weak. I think we dump the revive at the moment. Yeah. The AI is smart. Doesn't want to just blurt out questing. Let's see. We ink 2, 2. Let's get rid of your own song. Yeah, how about you like being discarded? And let's see. I kind of want to keep you alive. 3. Let's just quest with this. You're safe. If you want to turn something sideways too. I didn't pay attention to their hand either. I actually forgot to look. Oh, that's slightly annoying. Who are you gonna run in? Okay. Oh, okay, that's even more annoying. Okay, that's even more annoying. They didn't have that many songs. I could have swore that. Um, let's just burn our hand so we can't keep drawing stuff. Do this and just quest it all. And hopefully we find a shark neck. Oh, we actually don't want a shark. We want sharpshooter here. No actions. What? Alright, well, that's not a big deal if I don't draw an action. Okay, now we can deal with shark. We're just gonna quest. If you're not going to respect my authority, then we're going to just quest it out. So now he kind of has to run some stuff in. Pete's gonna have to make a trade. Why are you attacking that with that? I mean, Pete can go into Nala, I guess. Yeah. We got Ursula. We got another Pete. Actually, a little annoying. I think I hold it, but I'm not happy about having to hold it. Do I? No, it's such a risk. We don't ink. We just ink this. All right. Robin Hood, Shark, literally anything here can be pretty helpful. But he's gonna have to run into stuff. Unless that drew a song. Nope. Okay. We're in a dangerous spot here now. So Maui would be nice. And literally any, like, of my big guys at this point, I need help. I have nothing good to reborn here. That actually sucks. Who are we bringing? I guess Rapunzel? And go Mother Goth. Like, if I do Mother Gothel and I do top into a Rapunzel, then it is game changing. But if they play a song, then he didn't play a song previously. He didn't do anything on his turn. Yeah, I mean, that's depends on what they do. More. What's that? What do you have in your hand there? Okay, really? Okay, well, at this point, we're just kind of losing to kind of finding all of our one drops. I have how many cards? Big cards here. Yeah, Maui Shark, Lilo, would be nice. Just something big so that way I can make trades. I have like 4, 8, 12, 16 cards that I could see that would have been actively better. Like even another Rapunzel here might be nice. Why didn't you make a trade? You didn't make a trade for anything. So now you run that in. There we go. Okay, sure. We'll just brawl that. Show me what you got. Just quest with the Johns too, honestly. I got another bird. Okay, well, that is helpful. So we will run into this Ursula. We'll kind of help distract them and do this. And then you go into the 2-4. Yeah, I mean, honestly, just quest it. And he's got a beast. Alright, can't do anything. 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's not game yet. If you don't have a removal, then this is a win, but it doesn't quite, other than my opening play, it didn't quite do what I needed it to do. Do they have a win here? No. 2, 4, 6, 7. So we've been at 19. Yeah, okay. I mean, slightly disappointing finish, because I didn't actually get to see any of my good cards, but Jesus, I still haven't seen any of my good cards. But yeah, they didn't have a removal. They couldn't really do much for it. So, okay, that's slightly disappointing. Let's see how the next game goes. Hopefully a similar beginning, but a different ending. 1, 2, honestly, let's just keep him in my hand and hope that we don't get mana screwed. Something like that. Okay. Ink the Maui, play the Nala. Unfortunately, we gotta ink you. Play Gothel. Nothing on one though, so that's okay. And we can't just in time. I mean, if we get another just in time, would actually be kind of nice. Let's get rid of that. Yeah. Do I care? Let's just ink you. Quest and quest. If we're discarding actions, then it's not the end of the world, but because we'll be able to get it back with Shark. But all right, well, I wanted to be able to use my actions though. So ink, play, and yeah, just quest it out. They're a little bit behind on what they should have, so that's completely fine. This is just testing. We're just trying to see if the deck will flow well. As long as, I mean, we drew a bunch of actions at the beginning, so hopefully this doesn't whiff. And of course you hit that. Why wouldn't you? That would have been nice. So next turn would have been really great if we had an inkable and gotten to trigger that revival and like hit something big. So we are gonna get to play a Be King Undisputed, but this is actually like, if I had that revive, then being able to revive the Maui would have been insane. They are likely gonna have a song next turn, so I don't see Robin Hood staying alive. Ooh, the Pluto. Okay. I'm okay with this. Ooh, how do we do that? Okay, hold on. All right, let's see what we trigger first. And a Bare Necessities. Get rid of any actions. They do have a Zeus and a Bruno. Let's get rid of the Zeus because you can just hard play that. I think we run into you. And then let's just brawl ya. Does mean he gets to Bruno me next turn, but that's okay. We don't talk. Okay, we got Pete. Which, how does this? When you can't play actions. Probably should have kept that in my hand, but I think I still quest. No, he's got big character. Like he's gonna Bruno me next turn. That's what a player should have Bruno'd me this turn, but I don't think this works. Yeah, you cannot play actions from the game effect. Yeah, it is totally fine. Yeah, Gothel. Okay, it would have been hilarious if it was Gothel. Oh god, no, that's really bad. Oh shoot. And I think this might be, not GG yet. Let's take you out so you can't sing Zeus on me. Another one. Okay. Watch this be Rapunzel. You're not helpful here. All right, Maui Shark, please. He's already used up two, yeah, two Brunos and one Zeus, so a Shark would be great. Okay, a Sharpshooter works as well. Please no removal. Just don't draw removal here. And if I can pull off a Revive would be nice. Literally anything. What did you draw? It drives me crazy when they don't draw something, or don't play something. Ooh, hell yeah, let's get that. And then why don't we just play this to ready a character? So now you have to have some kind of removal next turn for both characters. He's got Pete. Okay, so deck seems to work. Okay, we got a 5 too. If I really wanted to be crafty, then I can do, like, let's just see what happens with the revive. Who's our options? We go with Maui is likely the best option, so that way he can run into that Pete. We run that in, and then just see what happens with our hood. Request. I want you to see as a trigger. Yeah, and we get another pirate's life. Hell yeah. Boop. Gain more lore. Love it. Yeah, decklist pretty fun. I like it. It's definitely needs draw, but we're pretty heavily focused on I need Rapunzel. But otherwise, like the Robin Hood sharpshooter works, and we have plenty of actions for it. The cool actions are pretty cool. Being able to revive a Lilo or a Maui is really nice. Didn't get the shark out, which is slightly annoying, but if we did, look at how many actions are in the discard that we have to choose from now. So pretty cool list. I like it. And that's going to wrap us up. Those were three of the best deck lists that I felt like I came up with that I felt were really cool and unique. And I was excited to just kind of show them off. Hopefully, we'll have some more gameplay videos next week for y'all. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and I will catch y'all next time.